to 100 Gems Podcast, home of the champs. Today we got God Body 13 in the house. And I just want to say we're going to be talking about somewhat of a sensitive subject, and that's dealing with death. And I got to tell you, I done had my skirts with him. As a matter of fact, when he came in with the topic, I actually just survived, been blessed, highly favored from 4 strokes and an aneurysm. And today, as you see, I'm looking good, baby.
Yes, sir.
I'm thanking God. I'm talking about, so I'm so glad to have God Body 13 in the house. Here we go, y'all. Come on with it, my brother.
I appreciate the welcome. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
all right.
I just wanted to bring the question about death simply because I've lost in the last 5 months, I've lost 3 relatives, cousin, grandmother, auntie.
Hey.
And it seems that I got another one on the way out. So my uncle.
Yeah, my uncle on his way out.
Back in the day, they jump on your family, man. You
Yeah.
go get them.
Yeah, yeah.
So my whole thing now is why aren't we fighting back with death?
Mhm.
I know it's a big topic,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things where people, how can you fight death? That's God, that's fate, that's I believe that there's a way that you could actually fight death simply through just knowing some things,
Mhm.
having the information.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. One of the things that caused those strokes that I went through was high blood pressure.
Yes, sir.
You know, and at that time I had been moving, had all kind of deals going on, and I wasn't taking my blood pressure medication like I was supposed to. I'm eating, not right, not good. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when they caught me, it was like, whoa. I fortunately made it, but one of the things what you just said is, in a lot of ways, the key to to fighting death is taking care of your health. But
Yes, sir.
that's what I'm hearing.
Yes, sir.
Come on with it, man.
Oh man, almost a year ago now. I said about 10 months ago. My little boy came and asked me. He said, "Hey, Daddy, where's my mind?" He knows head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Right,
We know that.
right. That's a good question.
Yes, sir. No, he actually heard the wife the
Mhm.
day before. She said something second guessing in mind or something
Uh.
slipping in mind. So baby
Right.
birthday. I know where my head is.
Yeah.
I never heard where my mind is. So he came in. It was early in the morning, like 6:30, 7 in the morning,
Mhm.
and I was kind of taken back.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't want to kind of just shoo him or kind of
Right.
smoke screen him.
Right.
I tried to give him something loosey for him to understand. So I said, "Listen, man," I opened up the blind. I said, are you outside or you inside? Told him to look outside. I said, "You outside?" He said, "I'm inside." I closed the blind. I said, "Now you can't see outside, so you know you're inside." I said, "Now close your eyes." No, that's where your mind is. And I kind of sent him on his way, and he was happy with that.
Yeah.
And I was happy with it too.
Right.
But as a father, you think to yourself, man, he's starting off getting deep.
Listen, I got a 3-year-old, and it's amazing how she done took to the technology and I mean, like a fish in water.
Right.
I told her she know how to use my computer almost better than I do. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's what's available to them.
Right.
I'm noticing it's just gangs and gangs of information, and they suck it up
Quickly.
or they sponge it up. And so we got to make sure they get the right thing.
That analogy I gave, man,
Mhm.
I went out and had to do some work that day.
Okay.
And when I got in the yard, I started doing work. I said, wait a second. If I close my eyes, I can't see right. Therefore, I must not be here. And this reality has changed the way I see life. Because I've always accepted being this body.
Right.
But I'm truly just a mind.
Yeah.
But when I close my eyes, I can't even see in the ceiling. Just like the example, I'm not outside, but therefore I'm not in this. I can't see it once I close my eyes. So once you understand that's it's a simple reality. Some people, it takes them a minute to get it, to catch on. But once you understand that you're just a mind and you operate in the body, then I went so far down this rabbit hole. figured out a lot. This, that, and the third. But when you start losing people, and you say, man, if we just understood that we were just a mind operating a body. See, December 11th of last year, I thought I had testicular cancer. I had a month on my test. And shortly I want to say either a week or two before, a day or two after, my nephew had gone to the hospital simply for a fever. But he was there for about a week. I think he was there for like 3 weeks. But within the first 2 or 3, 4 days, to do something, and they ended up flatline. I'm not sure why, but they sedated him. They sedated him because he was filling up fluid and it was hard for him to breathe. So they wanted to sedate him and get him under, but tube ended up slipping out. He's flatlined. He should have died. He's 20, or 50 at the time. So what COVID put him up. It was killing old people. So I was like, man, I ain't going to the hospital. I ain't going to the hospital, man. I'm going to try to deal with it. So literally, I went on the website and did all the research, tried to produce a bunch of information as to what I have first. And then I was going to try to work it out from there. But I literally just started out with a fast. I did a fast of 10 days. And on the 9th day of my fast, I took a Bible, and when you fasted, you ain't supposed to have no bowel movement. I did it again. Not of substance, right? Not of anything of substance. But this stuff was pouring out of me, pop, 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 with little pellets.
Right.
And I remember it felt like little balls coming out. But at the same time, all the pain and discomfort that I had, gone. It was going as the stuff was going out my body. And so when I stood up, I said, now I called my doctor. I want to say on the 12th or the 14th of December. And he can't get in. He's packed until 45 days. The minute you go to ICU, you're going to go to some strange person that don't know you. So I wanted to go see my doctor. So I went in and on the February 3rd or 4th. And when I got there, all of my numbers. So I realized that I did something with the fasting, simply because I'm going to keep it 100, man. I don't even believe in God. I believe that God's an extension of my mind, but the God that I understood as a boy and even last year, the one out here, the one out in this world right here, the only thing out here is whatever my mind sees. My mind has made God somewhere, but we think he's out here, up here, and hell is down there.
No, he inside.
Yeah, but
He in there.
he in there.
He in there.
That's the only place.
That's what I was looking for. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But you said, hold on. I said, wait a minute.
He in there. No, but I'm saying, I guess let me rephrase that. I don't perceive God the way I used to. I see God differently. The way we grew up, the hooting and hollering and all that. I don't do that. I don't believe it.
I might dance,
Oh, no question. No question. Right. Yeah, because you love it.
I got a 10, but I do understand what you said. And I got to say that, summer, I remember when God really came and started dealing with me.
Yes, sir.
I was in a penitentiary.
Yes, sir.
I was doing 2 years in the hole. And at that time, I remember, being in the hole, you get up, you work out, you do your push-ups and all that other stuff. And the rest of the time, you got to thank, I'm talking about, it's just you.
You and you. You and you.
You and you. And what happened was, man, I was able to transcend from that cell mentally out here into the what I was gonna be doing.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
And God came in and he changed some stuff. He gave me a whole different kind of perspective on how to deal with people and how I seen people. You know what I mean? And that was I gotta tell you, the best experience I ever had in my life.
Yes, sir.
And I was in penitentiary, and I needed to be in the hole. I deserved to be in the hole.
So you deserve to be there.
I did. I needed them to. I needed that new time to chill out, you know. But I do understand that when God come in, man, it's a and change your perspective around, especially coming up from as a little boy, and like you said,
Christian church.
Christian
Yes,
church,
sir.
Baptist,
Baptized.
and
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
all that good
All of it.
stuff,
Yes,
man.
sir.
He is definitely. We have to acknowledge the spirituality part of our being.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But when you start looking at the reason why I'm picking a fight with death, so to speak,
Yeah.
is because, like I say, my family, we losing by the numbers,
I know.
and so
Part of it is because we're getting older too.
well that too. But it ain't. I wish it was just they were dying of natural causes.
Yeah.
Then you'd be more acceptance
A
of it.
whole lot more.
But this ain't natural. These are
Right.
diseases
Right.
and things that we are.
We feed them too.
I'm about to say self-inflicted.
Yeah,
They
we feed.
self-inflicted. So when you look at the big picture, I looked at it as back in the OG day, 24, 27. Or you go, hey man, this is my gang, my family's my
Right.
gang, man.
Yeah.
When you start
Yeah.
messing with my gang, see, people think that death and life are some things that are like way. No, we here making these decisions, man. I don't, even when I believed in what I believed in,
Right.
I was the controller of
The
the
culprit.
choices.
You
Yes.
was the culprit.
And I was right. I was making all the choices.
Right.
I was just making them within the boundaries of my understanding and my beliefs. So once I understood, man, we got to just start making better choices about this. See,
Right.
we so accepting. I don't doubt that I'm gonna die.
Right.
I don't know
Health
nobody.
as well.
I don't know nobody
Yeah,
1,000
yeah.
years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't doubt that I'm gonna die. It's just, how am I gonna die?
Yeah,
How am I
yeah.
gonna get to that point? And something I also thought about is, and this is something that for the community, all of your choices add up to your coffin. Every last one. All of your choices add up to your coffin. So when you think about the choices you're making, eating, whatever, sleeping, whatever you're doing throughout your days, those are going to eventually end up to be. So how you walk, I believe, is like a maze. Take that road. It might be a short road. Take this one right here, maybe a little longer. This one be a little,
Right.
but
Right.
you won't be able to know these things until you start. It's just like an
You got to pay
experiment, man.
attention.
Yeah.
You have to pay attention. I know that's something that I'm seriously doing today. Is paying attention to what's going in my body.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And making sure that I get some exercise in. Because health is wealth.
That's it, man.
And real, I'm talking about it. And people say wealth, like having money, and that's all good. However, if you ain't got no health, I don't care how much money you got.
You ain't gonna be able to get to it.
You ain't gonna be able to. I'm telling you,
You ain't gonna be able to get to
you
it.
ain't or enjoy it. You might be able to watch somebody else enjoy your money,
Yes, sir.
or how.
And handle your affairs
Come
for
on
you.
and handle your affairs
Yes,
for
sir.
you.
Yes,
No
sir.
doubt about it.
Mhm.
And when we go, that's how it's going. That's what's going down. But right now, I feel like, man, I need to be doing everything in my power to be the best person or man I can be. So I love God Body 13.
So let me I'm gonna drop this, man. When I grew up in life, I never cared about school, studying, none of that.
Okay.
My parents were sticklers on good grades, which meant I stayed on punishment.
Yeah.
There was one Christmas that I got nothing, and I thought they were lying. And I'm like looking around, and I had nothing. My brother and sister celebrating. They got all this clothes and toys and things. And
We might have to pull one of them.
from that point, literally from that point on, man, I understood it wasn't real. Because if it was real, they would have never left me out of it.
Right.
And no matter how bad I was.
Right.
So I called my granddaddy Bullhorn, and he bought me some stuff from the, I remember he bought me some sweater and jeans and stuff like that. And I said, man, If it wasn't for this dude, man, I wouldn't even have a Christmas. And to this day, I did something when I was 21, man. This is where I get my name. I went out to California to try to be a man. I had a daughter at 14. Things weren't right between her mother and I. So my mama told me, get away from this. Before somebody get her. I moved out to LA with the intent on being a man. Because I knew I was a boy standing in my mama's house. And I knew if I would have stayed here, I would have stayed in my mama's house. So I said, I need to get on up out of here. I had all the tools to be a man. I had just never put
Put them in action.
the Lego pieces.
No,
You got to build it. So I literally took everything that I had. And when I got on the plane, man, I had $35. I was supposed to have 1,000. I had this book called The Metu Nitas, Volume 1. And I tried to read it the weekend before. It was too heavy for me because I went up to Madison to party. And when I came back, man, I was like, okay, on the plane ride on Tuesday. So I said, I'm going to get this book one last shot.
Right.
Open up the book. I said, whatever page I open it up to, that'll be the one. I'm going to tell you what the page I opened it up to with $35 in my pocket, knowing I needed money. I'm going to LA. I was supposed to have 1,000 because I had $1,500 settlement a few months before. My plane ticket was $500. Well, I had it.
Yeah.
My money management was filed.
Did that?
And I got on the plane anyway. I was 21. October 21st, 1993, man. I opened this book and I can almost read these words verbatim. If we average 1 breath per minute, according to the techniques of pranayama and kumbhaka, you will make contact with your divine nature. I had to read that like 5 times because divine nature was kind of cloudy.
Oh, okay.
Initially I read God, but I'm like, she could be meaning something else. Because you mean to tell me all I got to do is get the 1 breath per minute, I get to God?
Yeah.
That's the phone number. It's 1 breath per minute. What? So, but then I kept on reading and said, if you average 3 breaths per minute, you'll be able to heal the body and prolong life. But this is the one that close the book. You'll be able to activate the cryo power that will enable you to attain whatever you desire. I said, GTFOH. I know what that means, right? You know what I'm saying? So I closed the book, man. I said, well, you're going to be a meditating dude when you get to LA because all you need money, you need cars. And look, and if I get anything, I'm going to get money, cars, and women while I'm out here, right? So let's get it. Let's go. I got to LA. I was staying with some people. And I literally applied this book to my life like it was like a chef with a recipe. The power that I received, I still have. I still have it. I mean, I was a lot greater in spirit and power because, so I told you I was pretty decent in math. Math was one of my topics that was literally like impressed on my entire soul. So well, I never studied when I knew I was good when I went to the geometry of freshman year class with my brother. Heck, we had a course of geometry together. Hey, I was getting A's and B's. The non-studying dude.
Right.
And he was barely. And they're like, how is this dude? Because they never knew me to pop the grades because I just never applied myself in that direction. So that's when I kind of realized, got a gift. They told me in 4th grade, but I thought they were jacked. So my concept of life now is if you understand the quadrant, the X and Y, there's a quadrant, there's 4 quadrants. They initially just show you this part, X and Y, the positive side of life. But once you get advanced in math, they show you all 4 quadrants. There's one point on this quadrant, and that's the point of 0. That no matter where I change, I flip this quadrant. Now, once I understood life, I understood that the quadrants represent quantum field. Quantum field is the reality that we accept. Okay. So if you stay at 0, what does that mean to a human being? It means if you never apply any of your self-made applications, and crying over death is a self-made application. Body get hungry, it's a self-made application because your body is telling your mind. See, once I understood this reality of outside, inside, what I explained
Right,
to my
right.
son, I really understood that in order for slavery, people thought it was for money. No, power.
He hold out about it.
The power is hip hop helped understand this. Why did hip hop help me understand this? Because we were supposed to be slaves, man. How does a slave affect the entire consciousness of the world? You don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So I had to think, I said, man, if you stay at zero and you just don't apply any of those feelings and emotions, you don't even have to respond to people. People bake you and somebody looking at you, talking to you. You ain't got to say nothing to you. I'm not obligated to. I can choose to.
Right.
If I believe,
Right.
when you stay at zero, man, you are able to see and understand so many things simply because your mind is the only thing working. It's like when your body starts to work with your mind, if you don't have that, the rhythm sometimes can be off. So the whole slave piece is the reason they got everybody living outside of the hip. Black people, after I did that meditation thing, I realized we was living inside our bodies, man. Because that's what he was talking about, breathing according to the techniques of pranayama and kumbhaka. That's us. We was living inside. So how do you get people outside?
Goodbye.
Somebody perceived. This is just my little take on the game. Somebody perceived that as beating and eventually started beating Black people.
Yeah.
And then the hatred and all the other stuff came. And then, so now what they're doing now is they're basically taking the mind and they've tricked everybody that
They conditioned it.
No. They tricked you to believe that your world is outside. Ain't nothing outside. I believe this is your mind. I'm going to take this sheet of paper. And this is your body. And this right here, or this is your mind, this is outside your mind. I'm sorry. This is anything outside your eyes.
Right.
And see how identical they are?
Right.
Boom.
Right.
Right. And this right here just represents your body, just a thin little sheet. So whatever you put on your mind will come. But we don't.
It would manifest, yeah. I can definitely see some of that there.
So when you and like I say, man, I'm reaching when I'm digging for this theory that I'm coming up with. I'm reaching deep into everything. See, because once I understood what are we here for? What do we do every day? Human beings all around the world. Every day, what do? We work for what? Money. Money is a medium of exchange. Your body is the only thing that is the only medium of exchange that your mind knows. See, we have chosen to empower money just like we empower God, we empower cell phones and cars outside. These are things that your mind perceives. And this is why I tell you, there is no God the way you see it, because in order to believe in anything, it has to have a definition, description, or understanding. So just
form.
Form.
Yeah.
Information. So it's in form. This is in a format. This is in a format. Everything's in a format or some formation. So once you understand, your body is just here to just send signals. Because Billy Carson said this, and I listened to him. He said your body is just a five sensory perception object that just sends signals to your mind. You don't even know what it's sending. Just send a bunch of information to your mind, and your mind then puts it in a format. And then, but your body is supposed to spit out intelligence. It ain't called extelligence. It's called intelligence because it comes from within.
Inside, yeah.
So what they've done, this is what I see. And I mean, the Kyrie Irving thing, if you look up the Hebrews to Negroes, these things support a lot of the things of what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm not pulling straws out of a guess.
Right.
I'm using the information that I've already received in life, all of it, and trying to buy. I don't care if it's the Tesseract that I done saw on the Avengers, the Allspark that I done saw, because you know that Allspark is right here, right? See this? I'm going to show you the diagram. Boom, boom, boom. Draw that out. That becomes a cube. So the cube is right here. The power is right here, man.
Yeah.
So they call it the cave of Brahma. It's a whole lot of things that you can, that you break it off. But
I know one thing. You show is popping some brand new information. Folks ain't never heard. I'm over here thinking about, do I need to go inspiration or something?
Hey man, I tell people, for a dude who never cared about life like everybody else did in high school, everybody's like, oh, well, good grades and all that. Oh, what college am I going to? I'm one to do. Look, I'm surprised I haven't gotten to college. The only reason I got to college is because my little ACT and SAT scores. I didn't even want to go to college. I only want to go to college to prove to people that I can get there. I mean, so that's the kind of dude I am. I'm like, you want to count me out? I'm gonna show you. You should have counted me in.
Yeah.
I don't even want to be there, but now I'm gonna just step in the room, just say, I'm here, and then, you know.
I know exactly what you mean. Because I'm that kind of dude too. Really, suppose you know it. Oh, you here too? Yeah.
We didn't have you to be here. You know, while I'm here. So when I bring up the topic of death, I like to bring all of the information that my mind has kind of scooped up.
Right.
And the topic of death to me is literally a fight for humanity, because now I feel like, especially after what they did to my nephew and what the allegations were during COVID, you know, all of the stuff that they were, none of it was proven to be true, but there were people inside of the hospitals and outside of the hospital, meaning doctors and nurses talking about this, and the patients were talking about the treatment. So I think that they're really now using humanity as assets. So I don't want to be an asset. So how do I circumvent this reality? You got to use your mind, man. You got to use all the information that you got. And that's what I've learned about just our communities, man. You know, we have accepted to have nothing. We've accepted to be on the bottom. You've accepted to all of these things. And the reality of it is look at how resilient we are. Oh, no doubt. Look at how innovative we are. Yeah. And I understand the reason why they keep you on the bottom is just imagine this to be a sponge and it was wet. And I put my foot on all the juice and spill out. You're going to be left dry. Yeah. But I'm going to take the juice. And that's all they're doing is taking the juice from us. So they need us to live. And I say they, but we're all one mind, because you snatch the mind out of anybody, and it's going to look like your mind, with the exception, your mind and my mind and his mind and his mind. Right. With the exception of perception and experience. So whatever you've experienced and however you perceive those experiences, that's going to be on thing, but your mind's going to look the same. Yeah. So you figure it's 8 billion people on this planet. So if there were 8 billion bodybuilders, it'd be a great place for bodybuilders. If there was 8 billion mechanics, it'd be a world would be a great place. So why do we have to go see a doctor? We are mind-body operators. Why do we operate our body, but we not using our mind? Because we have slaved. Get it?
I found what you said.
This is where the true slavery, we've been made a slave to our external reality. So the minute I feel like everybody get back into their head and the outside of the head, the entire world is going to change. The world going to change. So, I mean, and that's my take on when I look at death and my fight with death. It comes from that kind of angle. I know I can beat you. Right. I know I might not be able to beat the whole thing, but if you come in with some disease, I'm gonna beat you on that, because it's mine. Yeah, this right here belongs to me. It's divinely connected to you. So how is it that you have to go see another man about something that was given to you by divinity? So it's just, these are questions that I've asked, and like I say, when I feel like I'm charging up my family when I bring up how do you think y'all deal with that? I ain't dealing with it too well. I know we all hear that. Oh yeah, I bet you that. They got something to go on, baby. So it's all love, and I used to cry. My first experience with death was my grandfather. He had cancer. I cried when they took him from the house. And I remember my mom said, "Why are you crying? What is the problem? Like, he just going to the hospital." I said, "He ain't coming back. But this last round to the hospital." Right. That wasn't the last round. And I cried like 5-10 minutes in the car as I'm watching him in the gun. And when he got to the hospital and they told us he was dead, 4 something in the morning, 4 or 5, I remember everybody was in the room. I can't remember if he was conscious or not, but I just remember everybody not dealing with it too well. Everybody kind of shoot off. And I was let this man that saw me as a great man. I believe my granddaddy loved me more than my dad. That's just what he showed it.
Yeah.
He never whooped my ass. No, I'm
Yeah,
just,
I kind of know how I feel.
you did.
To be honest, I thought my granddaddy couldn't stand me because I used to come by, man, and if he looked like I was just, if I said something wrong or, then everybody around, man, they doing their thing, we partying, such. But when I come around, I'm literally hiding because I don't want my granddaddy.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
And but I remember what it was. And my auntie had told me, she said, the reason your granddaddy treats you like this is uh, he see Lord.
Mm-hmm.
He expect more out
Expects
you.
more out you. Yes, sir.
I caught that. I caught that. I still was crying. But
You
I
don't
caught
stop
that.
being you.
Yeah, I'm talking about it's paying off some today.
Yes, sir.
I,
sir.
I gotta be honest about that. And that's some of that mental thing, though. There's certain things that come to our mind. It gets into our spirit.
Yes. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. Before I get back to my granddad, I believe when people talk to you, that seed that they plant,
Right.
it don't germinate until like the poster I just saw about Malcolm X. Till that adversity and them tears start hitting it. That water germinate that seed.
Yeah.
And now your growth and development can begin from that point. So, but my granddaddy, he was on his last breath, man, and he was in the hospital, and I'm fascinated with this moment. I'm to the point where ain't no tears because I told you I eliminated all of that. I don't know why, but I was numb. I wasn't here, but I was present. He's slowly taking his breath the same way I was doing my meditation. So he was breathing, and it slows down. Finally, he gets that last one breath. And I'm 17, and I told you I started doing the meditation that thing at 21, and I didn't put all this together until like 20 years later. That the breathing, his death, my life, how you inspire in life. So the analogy of my son left me with it was simplified. And I told you I was good at math. When they tell you in math class, simplify the equation. It's the easiest way to solve it. So when you understand that you just a mind, body, and breath, that's all that makes up if one of those things are void, you wouldn't be able to be.
Right.
Take away the breath, no mind and body. So once you become more informed solely about these three things, right? Talking about our kids, you go send the kids, all this stuff. I said, why? And I understood the reason why I never studied because my mom and daddy, well, they never talked about the math problems at work, English sentences at work, history. They never they talked about people at work. So when I went to school and did, I did people. So, but my boys, I'm trying to get them to understand the simplicity of the game, and you instill that foundation so that they can build off of that simplicity. I recently, and I want to apologize, but I was saying it somewhat in jest. I said, Mom, you delivered the devil by making me a Christian and not doing the right work for my mother. So I was telling myself.
Yeah.
Because I pop off. I pop off.
Because I will say this. Is we got folks that Christians that truly believe, and I ain't mad at it. That's something that I've learned is that do your thing. However, when it's real, is when you get in tune.
Yes, sir.
With that divine peace, man. And then it manifests itself in all around you. The way people come into your lives, how how money comes, opportunity comes. You know what I'm saying? How you deal with negativity and drama. You receive information. differently.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes, sir.
I tell my, I gotta tell you, man, I done been causing pieces and be like, and I know I ain't know it just from the top.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But
It's like it was downloaded to you, or
exactly.
like mentally, like,
Yeah,
oh,
like,
I see
boom.
the whole picture and it's
Like,
right there in
whoa.
your face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
man.
We have to get in contact. We have to get in touch with ourselves, man, our inner selves.
And the reason why I just broke it down to that simplicity is because I'm trying to solve the equation. The equation of life is not evidently not the way you're supposed to be living, because the world is not harmonious in any form. I mean, it's country to country, you at wars, all of that's not, there's no harmony there.
Yeah, it's tough.
So when you start thinking about this thing is big, man. It's been big in my heart. It's been big in my mind. I didn't realize it was sitting until last. So after that, I said, man, you have to deliver this message. And recently, like I said, I've lost 3 people, possibly number 4. The way I'm talking to my uncle now, he possibly could be on his way out. I'm talking to him like, nigga, you want to live?
Right.
Like, real talk. Do you want to live? I'm sick of this. I love you. You know I love you. Do you want to live, man? Come on. Let's put plan. Now, if you do, let's devise a plan. Let's make it happen. Because that's all they doing at the hospital. The doctor's called the doctor, but he has a practice. Yeah. So we end up being the practice dummy. So I get it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to take away from anything or anyone. Right. These words are, like words like practice.
Yeah, take it. And
y'all should have made it a different word if you didn't want us to figure out that we were practice dummies. You know what I'm saying? You should have made it I don't know what I don't know what you want to call it, but practice is kind of evident. It's evident that when you go in there, if they don't know precisely what's happening,
right,
we're going to start practicing. Yeah. So when I look at the death thing, I just look at, man, can we eliminate the practice? You're more practicing on yourself, because you're not going to harm yourself. You're definitely not going to harm yourself. Practice on yourself. Become your own doctor. And I'm not. Why do you got to pay for that? What do you have to pay for a biological course? The only way you're going to get it, nurses, doctors, those are the only people that get that course are people that have to pay for it. Why? Everybody living in body. So you got to, the game of life is really, why is all of this stuff the way it is? And when you understand why it is the way it is, how can we change? Right? Because we accepting, like I said, this is the outside and this is the inside. One version of mine where I got to grow. Right. Well, I got to change what's on my mind in order to get a different reality out here.
Sir.
So, and that's really where the question of death comes. I'm really trying to change a lot from how I accept it. It does affect me, though. Otherwise, we wouldn't. You talk about
Come on,
right
come on.
It does affect me.
Speaking of, that's just part 1, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. God Body 13.
I appreciate you.
Yes, we so appreciate you coming in, man, sharing this knowledge, man. These gems in the house of the champs. And I know we definitely gonna have a part 2.
Thank you for the invite.
There's no doubt about it. Hey, y'all, that's another episode of 100 Gems Podcast. Home of the champs, baby. Peace.